Hey everyone, today we're testing the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation in the shade Fair 15W. Here we go. And here we go with shade 15W, which was lighter than I expected from the swatches I found online, but we'll make it work. And as you can see in the upper right-hand corner, I started out with the NYX HydraTouch Hydrating Primer and the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Under Eye Concealer. This is a viewer-requested video, and speaking of viewers, I have a question for you. Do you prefer videos with or without music? I was talking to one of my subs about it, and you can help me out by letting me know in the comments below. So to cover some of the basics of this ColourPop Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation, they call it a skin-perfecting, medium buildable coverage with a skin-like finish. You get 1 fluid ounce for $16 US, so pretty good price, and there are 42 inclusive shades. And speaking of shades, even though I ordered this one online and ended up with one that was a bit too light for my skin, I have to say that ColourPop offers the most beautiful, neutral undertones. They're not too yellow, not too pink. I just wish more foundation companies would start offering more true neutral colors like ColourPop. So as you'll see, I was touching my face there because I noticed how quickly this foundation dried down. Because this says it's a hydrating hyaluronic foundation, I thought this was going to be a little bit more dewy. So just be aware, it's more of a satin to matte finish. And if you have normal to dry skin like I have, I would suggest using a hydrating primer underneath. This foundation is not at all uncomfortable or tight or dry, but it was just a little bit less hydrating than I thought it was going to be. And as you'll see here, I'm having a little bit of trouble putting this on with a brush. And I knew when I grabbed that brush that it was probably not going to work well with this formula, but it was clean and you know how it goes. I grabbed it and tried, but eventually I just gave up on it because I realized that this was just going to work better with a sponge. So if you do use a brush, I would definitely suggest using a stiff kabuki brush or a flat paddle brush with it. So this blended out really nicely. You'll see in a moment that I had to take my finger and kind of press the foundation in around my nose and around my upper lip because it got just a little bit heavy around those areas. But once I did that, it looked really smooth and really nice. I also decided that I wanted to go in on the area just on my upper cheeks where I get a little bit of redness and see if I could build it up a little bit. Now, I've been trying out a lot of very hydrating foundations lately. You may have seen my video on the Maybelline Green Edition Super Drop Tinted Oil or the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. Now, those foundations actually feel like skincare going on. They are very, very hydrating. This to me felt more like just a foundation, which is fine. That's exactly what it is. But I just wanted to communicate that clearly because from the name of the foundation, I didn't want you to be mistaken like I was in thinking that this was going to feel super moisturizing or that you would be overly dewy or that you wouldn't need to wear a hydrating primer underneath. And as you can see here, we made this light shade work by just bronzing her up a little bit. But what I really wanted to show you is in the pictures here. So as you know, I always like to take pictures in different types of light in these videos because I believe it's the most accurate and honest way I can communicate to you what a foundation really looks like in all situations. So I took these close-ups here under bright studio lighting, and when I looked back at them, I was just amazed at how smooth the foundation looked, how it really erased my pores. So as I was originally trying it on, I thought, oh, this is a nice foundation, but it wasn't until I looked at the pictures that I thought, okay, I get it now. I get why this foundation was so hyped up, especially when it first came out. And while you're taking a look at the swatches here, I'll tell you, I looked at this the rest of the day as I wore it, and it looked just as beautiful 6 hours out as it did when I first put it on. Now, around the 9.5 hour mark is when it just broke down for me, but that was with absolutely no touch-ups whatsoever. I put out 2 new foundation videos every week, so make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Thanks so much.